Hi! Whoa, that was loud. Today, we are going to be looking through my 9th sketchbook. It's been a while since I've done one of these. In fact, I've only done one other one, and that was for sketchbook number 7. Why are we not doing sketchbook number 8, you ask? This is why. Yeah. There's like 3 drawings in here, and I'm not even willing to share them because they're that bad. But we're not here to talk about sketchbook number 8. The last sketchbook tour, I think, was like 2 years ago. So it's been a while, and it took me forever to finish this one because I never drew in it that much. But I finally finished it, and I want to look through it with you today. So let's get into it. Oh my word. I forgot about the front page. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Oh my word, it's so bad. Why did I... Oh. Alright, I'm just gonna warn you now. There are gonna be some drawings in here that are interesting. And when I say interesting, I mean poorly drawn. Like this, for example. Like, what is that? Alright, anyway. I usually do a front spread page, just to kind of welcome you into my sketchbook. It has been 2 years, technically 3 now that we're in 2025. We shall turn the page. Okay, so this spread I actually did in church. We were going through the book of Ruth, and I was very visually inspired to draw the story. So, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory here. If you know the story of Ruth. Ew, what is that? Okay, pardon me. All right, let's keep going. Oh, so these are my very first Warrior Cat sketches. I was absolutely hooked on the first series, and obviously that translated over to drawings. And I can already see how I've improved on how I draw cats, which is very encouraging. But yeah, we got some Fireheart here. Then I was trying out different monumental scenes from the books. Even though they're not how I would draw them normally today, I still really think that they are nice for when I did them. And for the fact that I hadn't drawn cats in forever. Before I had started getting into Warrior Cats, I was really into drawing dogs. So I had to relearn how to do cats, and this was a very helpful exercise to do that. More cats. This is more Warrior Cats, and this is kind of random, except for these two. Whoa, that muzzle is going places. It's like migrating this way. This is also when I started getting into putting paper into my sketchbooks. I think it adds a little bit of flair to just plain sketches. More Bible stories. I think these were also done in church. And it's a little hard to see this one because there's stuff on the back. But anyway, I think this is my favorite out of this spread because I feel like it's a very realistic looking pose. Whoa, there's a lot going on here. Okay, so, oh, I forgot about this drawing. One thing I really love about this sketch is the pink and purple together. I think they blend really nicely. And also look at his chunky face. It's so cute. We got some Puss in Boots fan art. I think this was before I'd seen the movie. Then we got some Mandalorian stuff. I really like this one, and I think it's because it was my first time trying to use colored pencil and then put marker over it, and I think it looks really, really nice. This is when I started to get into doing OC art, so I came up with this character Tate, or Tatum, and then Maddie, or Madeline, and I can already see some proportion issues, so let's just ignore that. Someone told me that he looks like Miles Morales, and I don't think that was my inspiration, but now that I'm looking at it, I definitely do see that they do look similar. And then we have some Mario drawings. This is after the movie came out and I'd seen it, and I absolutely loved it. So, of course, I had to make a spread of it. You can kind of tell that these were more from screenshots that I had, and this one was half screenshot, half my style, sort of. More Mario. Ooh, bleh. Oh no, I forgot. Okay, I'm gonna put my hand here for a second just so that we don't die of pain. So we have some more Mario, again, more like screenshot-y, and then a Tate stuck his way on here. I think the pose looks nice, and I really like how the face turned out. These were definitely like screenshots from the movie. This one's definitely my favorite of this paper because I think it looks pretty close to what it is. And then this I didn't really try as hard, so it's not quite as nice. Okay, I'm gonna take my hand away. Ugh. Oh, why did I do that? Oh. Okay, so what happened here is, for some reason, like after I'd finished this one, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change Peach. I'm gonna like try and add more my style to it, and Don't do that when you've already done half of it in the original style, because then you're gonna get that fish lips. The lighting is still pretty good, but yeah. I really wish I was trying to make it exactly like it was, but anyway, let's move on from that. I had fun doing this one because the dog is in the blue and she's in the white, and I just think it contrasts nicely together. Then I was trying out some Posca metallic that I had here. More warrior cats. This was when I started getting into the second series of warrior cats. So we have Brambleclaw and Squirrel Flight, and then the other cats that they went with on their journey. I feel like I'm always drawing them sad. I don't know why. Ooh, Spider-Man. Okay, these I think were all done before I had seen the movie. These might have been afterward. I'm not really happy with all the ones over here just because I feel like there is some style difference in these and some mistakes, like whatever that is. And you can tell that these are definitely more close to the movie style than my style. This was kind of an impromptu, let's try just doodling random things and see how it turns out. And I think it's okay. I think it was definitely a good exercise to practice. These I definitely had reference to. They're a little bit too realistic. And Spider Cat, I mean, how could I not draw a Spider-Man cat? Now we have kind of random slash Spider-Man again. This was after I'd seen the movie and I absolutely loved the spot, so I felt inspired to draw him. Chai tea. I also had fun adding some rainbow effect to it. I got the sticker sheet paper that goes over whatever you put it on, so it adds this cool rainbowy effect. It might be a little hard to see. And then I have a Pav sketch right here. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce his name because I feel like I'm going to totally bumble it. And here I tried to come up with another character. I like it. I feel like the color palette is not what I envisioned because I totally forgot the color palette I was gonna use after I had drawn him. I do really like this pose though. It's nice. Moving along. Whoa, that nose is going places. This is just supposed to be me. I guess I was grumpy today. I do kind of like the desaturated, droopy kind of feeling though that I captured with it. I was in a weird mood that day. This is when I started getting into trying to design my spider sona. It's a very popular thing. So I was just drawing different Spider-Man suits that I liked. Oh, I have to talk about this little guy. So forever ago, I was just doodling on random pieces of paper and I drew this and I absolutely loved the pose of it. That I cut it out and was trying to save it to put somewhere. So it had been floating around so many different places and I finally found a spot for it. I mean, I could have just put it on anything, but I didn't want to just stick it in a random notebook and then never pick it up again. So he finally has a home. Congratulations. Ah, woo, okay. So here's me trying to figure out my spider sona, and first of all, I just need to say that, yikes. So I think this was my original design, and I'm not at all happy with how that looks, obviously, which is why I was changing it up with these. I kind of wanted to base it off jumping spiders because they're my favorite spider. There's just something so cute and chubby about them, and I love their inquisitive selves. So I kind of tried to integrate that into the suit design. I was messing around with different colors, like different shades of blue, and then different designs of where the darker colors should go. I'm not really happy with these, and you'll see that later. I draw it again and try and come up with different designs. And then I was trying to see what it would look like if the hair came out of the top of the mask. I like it, but also hate it because I feel like it looks kind of like a genie.
That's my little cherry on top.
And that's kind of been burned into my mind this whole time. Oh, I really like that. That's cool. So this is kind of what I landed on right here. When I look at it here, it looks really nice. I think it looks neat on the red paper. Then I kind of try to draw my face, even though this does not look like me, especially this one. This kind of does, and so does this one, but it's not. I could have done better. I kind of just winged it. Oh my word. Can you see that? Disgustingness. Oh. What is that? I really want to scribble it out. Okay, so this was done around the time that the season 2 trailer dropped for Loki. And if you know me, I'm a big Loki fan, so of course I had to draw him here. But I tried to do this weird thing where I drew realistically, but also cartoony, and then I got this slop. I've learned never to do that again because it's so bad. And I hate it because this is what I was trying to do. I was trying to pull my style, but also with what he actually looks like, and this is what I was envisioning for this. Clearly something went wrong here though. And then this over here is a hoodie that I got. I absolutely love it. It is a little bit baggy on me, hence why I drew it that way here. But I think the orange and white are such a neat color scheme. I goofed on the face here, so I covered up with sticky notes. Sticky notes are your best friend. Here's some more random doodles. I was in New York at the time that I did these. This is my absolute favorite one. I mean, he's so adorable. I think he's a good blend of realistic and cartoony, and I just think the expression is so adorable. Then we were getting into Ashfur territory. I just started reading about him, and this is the only drawing on here that I actually like because I feel like the proportions are good and he's got a good expression as well. Ooh, I love this one. I absolutely love this peachy color, so I decided to integrate it in whatever I drew here. I definitely had a reference for this. There is no way that that face looks like that without help. Then I just decided to do some more doodles. You can tell some, oh, who are you? Go away. You can tell which ones I had references to because you can look at this and be like, wow, and then you just go a little bit over and you see that and it's, oh. Doodles, and oh, so I want to talk about this for a second. I had so much fun using purple colored pencil and then going over it with markers, and I think they turn out really, really pretty. This is my favorite. I mean, look at the little baby. And again, more cats, this time with a greenish blue. I think I also did this one in New York. This was the scenery that I was enjoying by the lake, and I had fun just using a plain pen and jotting it down on paper. Ooh, I do really, really like this drawing right here. I think the angle turned out pretty good. I usually don't draw angles like this, so to have this come out of nowhere was just really nice to see. Here we have some tiger claw drawings. I was using these to figure out proportions for an animation I was doing. And then we have more of that here. I was just trying to come up with some shot progression. Oh, I really like this one right here. And then this actually turned into a t-shirt design. I don't think I've ever said anything about it on my channel, but me and Cheesecake Cat have a shared bonfire account where we sell merchandise. It is specifically for that channel, but it is my art. So if you are interested in taking a look, it's mostly Warrior Cat stuff. It might expand eventually, but if you want to check it out, the link is in the description. And then here I was just trying to draw different faces and practice proportions and hairstyles. I had fun using black and red for this spread, and I liked putting different shapes behind some of the characters. Oh, focus. Focus. Okay. Can you see? Good. Bible theme, except for you. I don't know why you're here. These were warm-up sketches for something I was doing for church. And then these were images that I had in my head for a while, and it's the story of Elijah. If you're familiar with Elijah's story, there's a part where he goes head-to-head with false priests, and they do different sacrifices, and to prove how real God was, he soaked his entire altar, including the ground around it, with water, and then fire rained down from heaven and totally consumed the whole thing in flames. So I had this image in my head for forever, and it's not quite how I pictured it, but I also really like how the orange looks on the brown paper. It kind of reminds me of The Prince of Egypt. Fantastic movie. I would definitely recommend that one. I have some scripture here also to go with it. More pinks and purples. These are some random and not so random bonus points if you know who this is. I'll give you a hint. And then this is a giant picture of Oscar. Some of the proportions are obviously wrong, and I'm gonna keep saying proportions are wrong just because I notice them now. But this is good. We need to hammer this stuff out so we can improve. More Loki, some ugly Loki. Let's not look too closely. Then we started getting into Inktober. At least this one is. These are just random. Oh, I forgot about this dumb tape. It like sticks to the other side and I don't know why. And then it leaves all these horrible marks. Anyway, more Inktober. As you can see, the different themes. This is my favorite. Some of these are not as exciting as others. More Inktober. This is when I started losing inspiration because the themes of 2023 were really dull and very, very boring. I was not very inspired with that one. I forgot how bad this one is. You know what it looks like? It looks like that one SpongeBob meme of him listening to music. This is the ugly version of that. But yeah, you can kind of see that I was not trying too hard with this spread. These have a little bit more effort put in them, like this one. I really like how this looks because it was a mix of Posca paint pens and marker. Definitely gonna have to try to do that again. And these are the last 4 drawings of Inktober. More Tiger Claw, Tate. And this is a bear, if you don't know. Here I was also trying to do some motion and proportion studies by looking at baseball players. I'm not really happy with these because I feel like some of them look a little wonky. I think one of the reasons that it doesn't look quite as good is because I just used red pen for this and didn't sketch it out first. So that's why. Oh, more Loki. There's so much pencil on this, holy cow. So this was after the season 2 final and it definitely struck me and I had to draw that in here. I try to do a mix of papers and some I like and some I don't. I think my problem with this spread is all the graphite pencil I use because first of all, it infected the other side and also it just does not look very nice. It's just very scratchy looking and it didn't turn out how I wanted it to. I also don't know how I feel about the faces. I feel like I try to go more the realistic route and they're okay. I think they definitely resemble him, but they might not be exact. Yes. So this is my channel icon character. If you've watched my other videos, you probably recognize it. So I was just having fun doing different poses and expressions. And then here we have more Spider Sona. I decided to use just a blue pen and try and do some different sketch work. And I really like the look of blue pen with some lighter blue marker to add color and shadow. And we have more of that here. I really like this spread. I don't know why, but I think it's all these different blue pen sketches. And you can see here I was trying to play around with different designs for the suit again. I'm not really fond of any of these designs, but I do think it was helpful to work out some different values. I tried to just do it without color and see if that was my problem. This is something Oscar would do. More pen sketches. I forgot about this little fellow over here. I think that actually does kind of look like me a little bit. I also had fun trying out some different Doc Ock looks. Oh yes, and then Tacky the bear. Long story short, many years ago I was in the hospital and I had an IV in my right hand. Because I'm right-handed, I couldn't draw, so I decided to use my left hand. This was the result. It is obviously very bad. I think I was a little bit loopy when I did that though, and for some reason I decided to keep that trend going that every single year I decided to redraw it, but using my left hand. Here I had an idea to use stickers that I had of different animals and try and redraw them. That was really fun to do. I'd recommend it if you're feeling a little bit bored. Just find some random stickers and try and redraw in your style. Oh, the pain that I feel from this spread. This is all from my Tiger Claw animation, link in the description if you want to go watch it. All these are when I was working on the animation, and the problem was I was trying to do a background zoom, but on the app Procreate. And while Procreate does have an animation function on it, they do not have anything for zooming an image in and out smoothly. So I had to write down all the dimension sizes to keep track of how big and small I was going. I had to contact Procreate's customer service. More and more of these papers and notes to actually remember what I was doing. This sums up pretty much how I was feeling. I will never forget that. Whew. Here I was experimenting with different shirt designs for the Cheesecake store. So I was coming up with different colors for some of the shirt designs we ended up using. I had a lot of fun designing different logos for the store. Oh look, more Spider-Man. So this was after I had bought and looked through the Spider-Verse art book. I absolutely adored looking at all the different sketches and drawings and decided to recreate some of the drawings I had seen. These were no reference and I'm so happy that they turned out this way. So this is when I started getting into Zelda. I had never really been a fan of the games, but then one Mr. B Gaming recommended that I try Breath of the Wild. And at first I thought it was going to be a totally different game. And then it all changed when I got my horse. And then from then on, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I still haven't finished it. I'm kind of just trying to enjoy it before I do the final boss, because once you do, then you can't really go back. But anyways, these are actually cutouts from a digital drawing that I did. I think these are probably my two favorite of the actual sketches in the book. I'm now realizing that he has very short legs. Oh, and this is another one that did not fit with the page. Spider, Sona, again. Oh, see, okay, this is what I was trying to do with that other Loki drawing that looked disgusting. It's the blend of my style, but also staying true to the caricatures of his face. This is what I want to see more of, because it looks very nice. Some Megamind sketches. Love that movie. It is a very forgotten classic. Oh my goodness, forgot about this. So this is when I was starting to do a lion study, and I also wanted to experiment doing colored pencil sketch and then going over it with graphite pencil. And this was done without reference, may I say. I never get my drawings to look that realistic, so I would just like to point that out. What is this? Why do people keep trying to invade the book? And then we have more here. This is probably my favorite. I also really like this one. These are concept sketches for a painting I did back in 2024 around Easter time. I had this idea to draw the crucifixion scene. So here you can see different stages of going through that and then working on colors. And I have to say, originally I had thought that the scene would be very sunny because when Jesus died, it was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I went with these because I thought it would be a bright day. But then later, after I had completed the painting, I was reading in the Bible, and I don't know which book it was, but it said a great darkness had come over the land, and I was like, oh, missed opportunity. I was gonna do it that way, and I could have had such a captivating, moody piece, and I totally blew it. I might repaint it one day with that theme in mind, but for now, this is what we have. I love this drawing. Do you ever have drawings where you just absolutely love it and there's no flaws with it and you will never get tired of looking at it? This is one of those drawings. I've seen a few that are like this, but just this one. I had just rewatched Troll Hunters and I really wanted to draw Troll Gem especially. And I think what I like so much about this is the blue pen sketch is perfect. There's really no flaws with it. And then the yellow background really makes the sketch pop. And the same thing happens over here with this one. Here I tried to capture the same emotion I was feeling with this. I think I did these weeks later though, so you can kind of tell the difference. And once again, we have the problem where I'm trying to mix my style and what it originally looked like, but it ends up looking more like I just don't know how to draw it. So that's why I'm not quite as happy with these. This is kind of a random thing over here at least. More church drawings. And then I have this lion drawing. I was very happy with this one in particular because I did this way after my lion study and I was very happy that I still remembered what I learned. We have some different scripture. Oh, so a little bit of an insider scoop. These are concept drawings for a book being written by Cheesecake Cat. It's still in a very early development stage, so things are definitely going to be changed, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to spoil, but I will say that this is one of the villain characters in the book series, so I went through different designs of trying to figure out what his clothes would look like. There's also a dragon, so I was coming up with different heads of what it could look like. It was a lot of fun trying different armor styles and adding capes or helmets. Here we have another character from the book. He is very armor heavy. This was just me trying to figure out different armor types. I think this one was definitely my favorite of all of these. And here's another character. She's kind of like the evil magician in the book, so I was trying to pull that into her designs. She also has some sort of a staff, so I was coming up with different lengths and trying to see if gems would look cool with them. Oh my goodness, what a different color palette. So I was a huge How to Train Your Dragon fan back in the day, and I used to draw Toothless all the time. So I decided to give it a shot again. This was using watercolor because I wanted to recreate the old textured paper from the original movie. And yes, he is out of place. I was trying to figure out size differences. He is a little bit too big for this one in particular, but I really liked how he looked, and I didn't want to throw him away, so I just decided to leave him in there. Kind of a random sheet. Here I was doing some business card designs, and here just a random girl. And more How to Train Your Dragon. another paper from the movie that I had, so I did a hiccup over it. I really like the style of this one. These go together nicely, I'm just realizing. I cannot draw sheep for the life of me, so I think a sheep study is due soon because that doesn't quite look like a sheep. Here we have more OC designs. There was a magical thing going on with my blue pen and came up with these really nice expressions and face proportions. Here's another one of those drawings that I just absolutely love to pieces. She's very sporty, but also wants to be pretty, so I decided to do the more skirt route with her tennis outfit. What kind of a star is that? More Megamind. I also had fun trying to just do a sketch, which I loved how it contrasted with each other, coming up with these. I tried to make it look kind of like a blueprint, and I had a lot of fun doing his mech in different poses. Just some random doodles. And then here's all of my OCs that I currently have. I think I'm gonna change Boyd and Jeremy with these two characters. I think he looks like more of a Jeremy and he looks more like a Boyd. I don't know. Kirby! Oh! I absolutely love Kirby. He's definitely one of my favorite Nintendo characters. I just love how chubby and happy he is, and he's always excited and ready to eat. More Spider Sona, what a surprise. Except this time I try to use pinks and blues just to match this. You know, I need one of these. Oh my. This is turning into a very chaotic video. Narnia, yes! I have been recently rereading the whole entire book series. The Horse and His Boy, which is what this spread is based off of, really struck me. Here I was pretty much using only Posca paint markers, which is why it looks both detailed and not detailed. I'm trying to capture the grand scope of it all. Oh, here's another one of those drawings that I just love. And then him and Brie, very chaotic duo, those two. Oh my goodness, I forgot about these goofballs. Sometimes I draw different animals with these really wide, skinny mouths, and it makes them all look like they're screaming. And here is more Meredith. I was playing around with her hoodie design because I feel like it was a little too simple. So I tried doing a crop top with a plain white shirt underneath. I think it definitely adds character to her, so I think I might keep that design. Some more book concept doodles and some dogs, specifically huskies. This is the mage from earlier, except I tried to make her a little younger. I think that definitely adds some character. This is the last spread of the book. If any of you are subscribed to Cheese, you probably have seen this drawing in the community posts. He's a goofball in the books, so I kind of tried to go with a jester, silly, not as battle-ready look to him, except this just looks like he's a hippie going to the dance party. He's also a musician, so I had different guitar designs here and different hats. He has a very flamboyant look to him, but is also completely ridiculous, so I tried to integrate those two things into these designs. And that's it. I always do an end drawing, usually of me and my two cats. I don't really like how these look, but this one is quite funny to me because it does look like he's dancing, because I think the perspective is really good. Well, we made it. Thank you so much for sticking around through the whole video. It was a doozy to go through, but I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it won't be quite as long till the next sketchbook. This is my current one. It's a little bit smaller. I haven't done a cover for it yet, but I will. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. See ya!